So here's the thumbnail for our video. We're going to start with our top 170 through 61. So starting at number 70, we have CALAIS Campbell, who was traded from the Jaguars to the Ravens. He won the Walter Payton Man of the Year, I'm pretty sure this year. And I think it was a great move by the Ravens to trade him. You know, they only had to give up a 5th-round pick to go get him. And last season, he did have 6.5 sacks, and that's sort of as an interior player, so he can rush the passer, stop the run a little bit, just sort of up there, up front.
Great player.
Great player. And then 69.
Nice.
We have Kenny Golladay, who, as having him on my fantasy team in one of my leagues, was very nice. As last season, he had over 1,000 yards and 11 touchdowns, which is key. I think he sort of developed into his own role. You know, it's him and Marvin Jones, but I think he really stepped it up last year, had a big season, and I think he'll continue to do that. And then this, you may think this is high.
That is way too high.
It might be way too high.
Definitely high.
I'm still believing in the potential of Odell Beckham right now.
We were in my fantasy team last year. That's fine.
Yeah, he definitely had a down year last year. Only had a little over 1,000 yards and 4 touchdowns. It just didn't seem to me like him and Baker were sort of on page at all. They seemed pretty off, and I think that this year should hopefully improve. But then again, maybe I'm still doing the classic believe in the Browns for no reason. That might be what I'm doing. But
yeah,
but I still believe in the potential here. Here's another controversial one. We have Dakota Rain Prescott.
Mr. wants too much money.
Yes, Mr. wants too much money. He's wanting a lot of money, but you'll see where I have him ranked in the quarterbacks and perhaps if he deserves that money. But in 2019, I didn't realize how good of a season he had, actually. He had 4,900 yards, so close to 5,000, 30 touchdowns, and 11 picks. That's decent. That's decent. He definitely, in my opinion, should not be the highest paid quarterback. Definitely not. But
I should be.
Right, exactly. But I do think that he's decent. I have him at 67, really because I didn't realize how good of a season he had last year. But definitely, I think he'll be overpaid if that happens. Yes. Number 66 is solely based off production, mostly. Like I mentioned with Preston Smith, here's his counterpart, Zadarius Smith, and he had 13.5 sacks last year, which is really good, especially having your first season in a new system.
He was also on the Packers, so...
Yeah, exactly, he was. And I think he'll add some more edge rush presence this year for them. And this is another, maybe I'm living in the past too much, but GENO ATKINS, he's fallen off for sure. Only had 4.5 sacks last year, but I still think he's a very good player. He's like a captain on that defense, can shut down the run. I think he's very good. Now, 64, we have Nick Chubb, who last year...
Great for my fantasy team. Led me to 2nd place.
Yep.
That's it.
Yeah, he sort of, I feel like, is under the radar, maybe a little. He had close to 1,500 yards last year and 8 touchdowns, which is big. Obviously, they do have Kareem Hunt as well, which maybe could hurt him a little bit, but I still think he's very promising, and we'll see when he becomes a free agent whether he'll get paid or not. Now, as a Vikings fan here, I have at number 63 Adam Thielen. So looking at what he did last year, which these are numbers from only 10 games, he only had 418 yards, but he did have 6 touchdowns in only 10 games. That's pretty good. I am interested to see whether he'll line up in the slot like he normally does, but they did draft Justin Jefferson, who is known for playing in the slot very well. And I'll be interested to see what you guys think. Number 62 on this list may be a little interesting compared to... Do you have any thoughts about Adam Thielen?
Great guy. Love him. Great guy. Love him.
Exactly. He's come from nothing. We've got to pop him up there. Which, also, shout out to him right here for the ball up there is actually a Kirk Cousins signed ball, which Matthew gave. I mentioned that in the last episode, but yeah. So, shout out to Matthew.
Spent $5,000 on that.
Totally did. Definitely spent $5,000.
College fund is out, gotten the drain,
yeah. Good luck.
Yeah,
we wish you. So, 62, here we go. It's Stefon Diggs. He was obviously also on the Vikings. As you saw in my room tour video, literally over there, I have a framed STEFON Diggs jersey right up there.
Oh my god, it's right there.
But the problem is I hung it up a week before he got traded. I also up there have a signed photo. I just invested in STEFON Diggs. I have a t-shirt, whatever. And then he just wants out. But I do have him above Adam Thielen because of the production last year. Also, I think that Thielen, of course, obviously of age, is getting a little older, but still very good. I will say I didn't put Diggs higher on this list because I do think his production will go down. Personally, I think that, like Matthew mentioned actually to me earlier today, I think the Bills' offense is overall better, but him specifically I think will go down because I think Josh Allen is his style of play. He loves to throw the ball deep, which is great for a deep receiver like Diggs, but he tends to throw it in the neighbor's yard when you're playing a backyard football game. He puts a little too much mustard on it.
Too much ketchup, too much mustard, a little bit of relish in there.
Exactly, he's putting too much on his hot dog.
Maybe
and it's
some
just,
mayo.
Yeah, it's spilling all over.
It's terrible, yeah.
Exactly. He's gonna be mad. If Diggs was mad at Cousins for not getting the ball and throwing it, I just don't see it working out very well. This one actually is timely with the news. Unfortunately, Brandon Brooks, he was the number 1 graded PFF guard last year. He's possibly then the best guard. I do have a guard above him, but last season, they think he was the best.
Think he's going to do good this year?
No, because the problem is he tore his Achilles, which definitely...
Oh, and it's coming on the screen now.
Yeah.
Great timing.
Number 1 PFF guard tore Achilles, which so definitely we're hoping for him that he can recover. It's a huge loss for the Eagles, for Carson Wentz, for everybody there. That's why I didn't have a different segment for this, because I knew we would be mentioning him in the top 100. So definitely that's a big loss for the Eagles up front.